crystal sites of the Greater Reading Convention and Visitors Bureau. Welcome to Destination Reading. I have someone who I adore as a guest today. He's a really good man, but he's a really good team player too. I have Dan Clouser of Big Vision Foundation, also part of Berkshire Baseball. Dan, welcome. I'm so glad you could come off the fields because I know it's a really busy time of year and join us. And I know many of us wish we had that job where we could be outside all day, but I know it's hard work, but you somehow make it fun.
Oh, it's always fun.
Tell us a little bit about what I admire most, I think, about what you and your team does is the fact that you're about bringing outsiders in to play ball, any kind of soccer, baseball, softball, but you're also about helping our local kids grow in confidence and respect and in team building. And tell us a little bit about why that's so important to you.
Oh, I mean, really, our organization has really evolved over the past probably 10 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is actually an attribute to the Visitors Bureau.
Well, that's nice to hear.
When we first got involved with the Visitors Bureau, it was actually just a little bit before you'd taken over, and we were, we were a member but not fully engaged at the time, and for whatever reason, once you took over as president, we became more engaged, and our organization originally started as just basically having teams, and we started running some baseball tournaments really to help fund our teams. And when the economy kind of took a downturn back in the early 2000s, we lost a lot of sponsorships, and we found that the best way for us to generate revenue was to hold more baseball tournaments. So we went from running 4 or 5 baseball tournaments a year to running 10 baseball tournaments a year to running 15 baseball tournaments a year to this year running 26 baseball tournaments.
Awesome. And
I still remember the conversation like it was yesterday when I was in your office, and we were just kind of having a discussion about what we were doing, and we started talking about where teams were coming from, and that we had teams from upstate New York, had teams from Colorado, from California, from Canada, and I saw you start writing some stuff down and punching numbers into your calculator, and when you said to me, you guys are generating between $5 and $7 million for the Berks County economy, I was floored.
Right.
I was like, that can't be right.
Right.
You must have punched something
I
in there.
remember because you kept saying, "Are you sure?" And we go through it again. I'm like, "Yeah, that's what it's saying."
And because I was like, "Hey, we're just playing baseball."
Yeah.
And from that conversation on, it really, myself and our team really kind of took on a new, philosophy of what we were doing. That it was really helping our community and pumping that type of money into the community.
Right.
And as we talked to a lot of our hoteliers and just kind of having those different conversations, the scope of what we do as an organization kind of changed a little bit. And so from that point on, it was, our organization kind of became 3-tiered at that point, where we still did our youth development stuff with our own teams, but then we had our, economic development leg of it through our tournaments, which was generating dollars for the community. And then our other leg of it was our, giving back to the community, wanting to get our kids involved in giving back. And another event that we got involved with because of the Visitors Bureau is Cups of Compassion, and getting our kids out there and giving out hot dogs and hamburgers really on the corner right down here below us. So we've kind of evolved quite a bit, and just over the past couple of years now, we signed a lease with the County of Berks to run what was called the Berks County Youth Recreation Facility, which we're now calling the Big Vision Sports Complex. And it kind of morphed us from just Berkshire Baseball to the Big Vision Foundation.
Right.
And that, really was to encompass everything that we do out there as an organization. It's not just baseball. Like you said, it's softball. We've got girls softball out there. We've got lacrosse out there. We've got soccer out there. We have outdoor community movie nights.
That's right.
Just to engage the community. We have 5K runs. So it really is a, encompassing project that we have going on there.
And I can honestly say 5, maybe even less years ago, many people wouldn't even be talking about those fields because they were rarely used.
They were.
And you've turned that around, and you've brought people in from all over to see what we have to offer here. And what do teams tell you about the area? What do they say about it?
They love it, and that's what, I think sometimes, here in Berks County, I think sometimes we're our worst enemy.
Yeah.
And I think, our team really appreciates it, because we hear people from New Jersey and people from New York. We had a couple teams just a few weeks ago from Rochester, New York, and I was sitting with a guy who's actually looking to develop a skate park in Rochester.
Oh, nice.
And, somehow we just got on this conversation, and, he just kept looking around the facility and saying, this is so amazing. You got the trees around it, you've got, just a perfect setting. The location is great for visitors, right off of 222 and Route 183. So whether you're coming here from New York, New Jersey, Lancaster, Maryland, it is very easy to get to. So, the two things we hear the most from teams is how easy it is to get to, and how beautiful of a setting it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other sports complexes within our, 3-hour radius here. You've got Diamond Nation up in Flemington, New Jersey. You've got Baseball Heaven up in Long Island. And, these teams tell us that our facility is better than these facilities. And those are all a lot of synthetic turf facilities. And, they're right off an exit of a big highway, so you don't have
Nothing
that
around
setting.
them,
Right.
yeah.
So, they just talk about how kind of serene it is out at our complex,
So it's pretty special when you look at places around
Absolutely.
that they're playing. And we know kids, when they play, even college students and the girls, they move around, with their teams. And so they've seen it all, and they travel, and they know what they like and what they don't like. And I think, what we as a community and as an industry, as a tourism industry, are so excited about it, it helps us showcase what we have here.
Absolutely.
And it's not maybe going to a concert, but it's actually seeing the down-home space that Berks County has.
Right.
And I always used to say this, you never know whose father might be there cheering that kid on, who may be the head of some large company who's looking for a place to move to. You may not know if some woman who's there cheering again might be the owner of a tech company who says, I think I'd like to live here, and I think I'd like to move here. I know we've just had conversation with a group that's coming in to hold a convention, and the planners liked it here so much that they're opening an office in Berks County, in Reading.
Right.
They're bringing their office to the Goggle Works. And they said, at some point we might want to move here. We just think it's beautiful. So we thank you for the fine work you do out there. I'm so proud of you and your team. I really am.
It is an intangible you don't get. And we just, an example of that, and it's not, like the CEO type level, but we just, as we go into our fall season here, we kind of have a turnover of staff. So our local college kids are going back to college. Now we got to get some new kids in, and we have a great relationship with Kutztown University and the baseball coach up there, Chris Bloom. So he'd given us some names of some of his players to work for us for the fall, and they just started this past weekend. And we, as I'm talking to the one, he said, it's funny, I didn't realize where I was going when I was coming out here.
Yeah.
And once I got here, I realized that I had played here, and this is actually a tournament where Coach Bloom had first saw me, and it was because of coming and playing the tournament here, I ended up at Kutztown University, and that kind of came full circle.
Yeah.
And again, and that, even that, just by having a student come into Berks County to attend a college here for 4 years is pumping money into our economy.
Absolutely.
And that kid's going to spend a lot of money in rent and
That's right. And
food and gas and all that
people
sort of
are being
stuff.
employed because he's here.
Right.
So such an important added bonus, isn't it? So.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
Dan, I know we're out of time. I'm going to have you come back again, maybe
I'd be
the
honored.
beginning of next season. But we're all so proud of what you've accomplished out there. You and your team. It's just a beautiful space. But most importantly, it was grown from a heartfelt idea. So
I appreciate it. And we definitely appreciate everything the Bureau's done for us. And you guys have been a very integral force in getting us to where we are today.
Well, let's keep moving.
So
right?
We're looking forward to it. And as I said to you before the camera started rolling, we're working on some big stuff for next year with Margot, and we're excited about it. So maybe that's what we'll be talking about if I'm back on in the spring.
All right, I hope so. I hope so. Thanks, Dan.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
You too.
For more information, you can come out to gogreaterreading.com. You can see Dan and his fields, his schedule of events out there, and so many other exciting things to do here in Greater Reading, Berks County.